in who I am. When they bury me, just know I wasn't nothing but a man. Wasn't nothing but a man. It's for them niggas climbing heaven's stairwell.
What's up, guys? So today we have a story time for you guys that we've been keeping a secret since like March.
Yeah, it's been like a really long time, and Nate wanted to drop this video a while ago, but he wanted to do it at the right moment, and we feel that today is really, like, you know, this month is a really good month to release the video.
Yeah, it's something we've been going through. I've been going through personally, and I've been affecting kind of the relationship a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But today I'm officially tell you what is going on and what happened with me in football and my football career. Back in March, when we actually, the first week we started recording our vlogs was, I'll just tell you the full story. So back in March we started recording our vlogs. Yeah. Everybody's telling us we should make YouTube videos, and we started making it. And I had this great week. It was actually during spring break. And you know, while we was making these vlogs, I was, you know, having feedback from my cousins, from my dad, from all close family members of mine, from her mom, her brothers. Everybody's like really supporting our channel, and it was like this great moment in my life. And when that week came to an end, I had to go back down to school, and I had to play football. And when I got back down there the night of, I let her know. I called her and I'm like, yo man, it feels so weird. And she's like, what's wrong? I was like, I just had this like gut feeling and like this like happy moment in my life this whole week with you, recording videos for YouTube, and now I'm back here about to have football practice tomorrow, and I'm not happy. I don't feel happy. And she's like, you know, she just told me, like, you know, she just picked me up, she motivated me, and I felt really alone. And the next day we had our first practice, and it started raining, and our practice got canceled, so we just had meetings. And while we was in the meetings, I'm like, yo man, I found my gut feeling that I've been having for like the last 3-4 years, is that I wasn't really happy. Like playing football, I became like a football star, whatever the case may be, in high school, and then I blew up in college. I became this football player that everybody looked at me to be, but I really wasn't that person the inside. I wasn't happy. I wasn't really happy doing what I was doing. So I told her that day, like, yo man, it feels so weird down here, man. I'm just not happy. I was saying that all day to her. And then something crazy happened the next day. The next day we have our first football practice. I wake up, as I usually do, practice was at 6. I usually wake up at 4. I was that type of guy that I had to wake up early and warm up earlier and stretch earlier and do extra things because of my body, the way my body is. My body is a lot different. I wasn't blessed with great genetics of being flexible in that case. So what I used to do is I used to just wake up in the morning, and I used to stretch early or whatever, and we start practice, everything's good, and then a freak accident happened. While we were practicing, my teammate, I remember the play, my teammate, his helmet just went right into my spine. And when his helmet went to my spine, I kind of lost conscience a little bit, and I couldn't really move for like 5 good seconds. I couldn't move. And then as I was walking, every time I walk, my back muscles will pull super hard. Like, I suffered back problems before, but this felt different. So I'm like, oh my God, my back muscles just pull, my back muscles just pull. So I'm telling my teammates, like, yo man, I don't know, something crazy just happened. My leg, I have tingling going down my leg, my back, I feel there's something's not right. So I tell my other teammate to go in for me. I try to suck it up. So I told my teammate to go in, whatever the case may be. He goes in, and I'm trying to stretch, and I'm like, yo, maybe it's my back muscles. Like, I don't really know what's going on. I never had this before. So I go back in, and as soon as I go back in, I go for a pass, and as I go for the pass, I turn around and I go to catch the ball, and I collapse. And when I collapsed, I just felt probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. Seriously, the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And it was so bad that I couldn't move my legs. So I dragged myself off the field. You know, my coaches, teammates just thought I was having really bad cramps, but I knew it was deeper than that. So after practice, I went to go see the trainer. It took me like almost like 30 minutes just to get across the street after practice. I went to go see the trainer, and it was so bad I couldn't walk that they put me on a wheelchair. So I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on, man? I can't walk. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm the type of person that I know how to make myself do things when I don't want to do it, and I push myself to the next limit, but I really couldn't walk. So I go to the hospital. A good friend of mine took me to the hospital, and when he took me to the hospital, I had to be carried off the wheelchair into a bed. And right at this moment, the worst thoughts went through my head, like, yo, I might not ever be able to walk again. I really couldn't move my legs. So right there, I start panicking. I'm like, yo, holy shit, yo, I think I'm paralyzed. So I called Haskiri, and I was so nervous and I was so scared, yo, and I was so hurt. I had so many emotions going through my head. I probably couldn't walk again. I was down in Delaware alone, no family, and then I had the fact that I just started football right now. Like, that was our first practice, and I just went down. You know, so all these things just was going through my mind. I was losing it mentally. So I called her, and I was like frustrated, and she got real scared, and you know. And
I'm like, yeah, so after I received his phone call, the first thing me and his brother did was get in the car and like drive down to him, because he really said that he can't walk. Like, he really couldn't do anything for himself. Like, that week was rough because he couldn't pee, he couldn't, like, he would get up and take the pain as a man, but you would tell in his face that he was in pain, and he couldn't, like, every time he moved, he would like moan and groan and do all these things. So that was like kind of scary, like, to see him go through that. And even like us trying to cheer him up, you could tell that he still wasn't there, like, mentally. Like, he was having a lot of thoughts going through his head. So that was like another scare for me, because I'm like, yo, he probably feels like this is like it, like, that's it. And like, people, I feel like, I mean, I know he's gonna elaborate more, but you know, his phone was off at the time, so a lot of things were going through my phone, and I would see how like people would say things and like, oh, people think you're lying, or you're just making this up, you're being a baby about the pain. And in my head, I'm like, yo, they're not here to see what he goes through. Like, they're not in the room hearing him wake up in the middle of the night because he can't sleep right because his back just starts to hurt. And you know, it was really rough, like, seeing that and knowing that, like, I couldn't really do much but just be there physically. Like, it was rough.
So what happened after that is I was in the hospital for 10 hours, and it was so bad at the moment I couldn't move that I had to be wheeled. I had to be rolled to the x-ray room, and they had to take my x-rays while laying down. I couldn't stand up for them. So when they was trying to give me drugs, they was like, Nathan, we have to give you drugs. It's too bad. And I'm like, no, man, don't put nothing in my arms. I don't want no drugs. So, you know, I was losing it mentally. So I had to come down to reality, and they gave me pills for the pain, and then I took the pills. I'd rather take the pills than them sticking a needle in me. So I'm like, yo, I'll just take this. So I'm laying there for like 10 hours. I go back. They have to put me in a wheelchair to get back to the car, to my boy's car. And then out of the wheelchair, I go into the car, and then after getting back to the room, I had to be carried upstairs. I never felt like this I never felt worthless a day in my life. Like, people have to really be blessed, man. Like, you're walking today. Like, things are so bad in life, man, but you're walking today. I never knew how much I took for granted on just being blessed to walk. Just for those first couple of days of not being able to walk and being on wheelchairs and being handicapped, yo, man, that life is very, very depressing. As I got upstairs, I was so embarrassed for Haskiri to come down to school. I was so embarrassed. Like, I couldn't get up and even use the bathroom on my own. Like, I was so embarrassed, but I knew I needed her. I needed to elaborate to somebody. I needed to spill my feelings. I was so hurt. I was holding back tears. I was holding back anger. And then I was nervous for my little brother to come down, because I didn't want him to see his big brother going through this. So when they got down, I kind of just broke down, and I just cried. Like, I just lost it, man. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on. Like, something's wrong with my spine. When those x-rays come back, I'm telling you, something's wrong with my spine. Something happened bad. And they're like, yeah, we know. And then I'm in a room, and then, you know, they helped me use the bathroom. They helped me do things, but I didn't like it because I'm not that type of person to be in a bed having people do things for me. I couldn't motivate them. I couldn't do nothing because I couldn't do nothing for myself. You know, so those 2-3 days that they were down there were really, really dark days for me. I couldn't sleep. Yo, I could not sleep. Yo, I couldn't turn. I couldn't do nothing, yo. I was really drugged up. I had to. In order for me to be able to lay down without my back pulling, I had to take muscle relaxers. So I was all drugged up, and I was just like, at the same time, I knew that I just worked my ass off for my senior year. This is spring ball. When you play football, there's spring and then there's fall. So this is during the spring, and I'm like, yo, I just bust my ass this whole winter for this spring ball, and I'm not even going to be able to participate in it. So I felt like I was losing out. I felt like my career may be over. I knew it was so deep, you know, and they had to leave. Eventually, she had work. I was like, look, man, you have to go to work. And then I told my brother, look, man, you got to go to work. You got school. So they left, and I was in that room for 2 weeks in the dark. I put a cover over my window. I was depressed. I was really just lost in life. And to make news worse was when I was in the room, I had some of my teammates come to the room, you know, only 2-3 of them, which is like my best friends, you know, and they came to the room and they told me like, yo, man, you know, you alright, da-da-da, and it was hard to like act like I was okay, but they saw it, you know, they saw it for what it was, but then they was like, yeah, some teammates think you're faking an injury. I was like, what? They was like, yeah, man, some people think you're faking an injury. And right there I never listened to what he gotta say or she gotta say, and I don't let those things affect me, but they hurt just for the simple fact that I would not go all out faking this injury. It would just be too much, and just to even think about me faking it and then think that people think I'm faking it hurt me even more, because that's not the character I built on campus. That's not the character I built as a man. So that put me in deep depression. But then I learned how to get out of that. I used my mind. I grew stronger during this time of being in a room for 2 weeks in the dark. They say you don't really know who's your real friends, or if you're, until you're broke or you're in the hospital and sick or locked up. And right there and there, I found out who my new real friends were. You know, and I always had trust issues because of my life, what I had to go through in life. So I had trust issues, real deep trust issues, but in this manner, like, it just built me to a different person. And then I started seeing how dirty the game of football is. You know, 1 second you're the man, the next second they forget about you. You know, and I already knew this can happen. I had people ask me, like, you know, I'm gonna use my cousin for example. Like, she asked me when I was actually on the top and I was doing everything I was supposed to do. She was like, yeah, asking me about my dreams to the NFL, and I told her, I'm like, yo, tell you the truth, I don't even want to go to the NFL, like, because I already know how cutthroat it is. You know what I'm saying? 1 minute you do good, next minute they don't care if your wife is pregnant, you got kids, they'll cut you and you'll be broke the next day. And I didn't want to have to rely on that, like a guy in a booth that, you know, for an organization to sign me and keep me, and I didn't own nothing. You're slaving for an organization. I didn't have that dream anymore. I'm like, I never had dreams for the NFL, but people that were around me made those dreams. So that's what you got to be careful around. Anytime you're good at something, you got to be careful with the people you keep around, because I lost people after this situation. I lost people that I thought that was my friends, and that's what happens. But you know, I already knew the fake little kids, you know, certain kids on campus. I knew they was fake from the beginning, but it hit deep when I found out, like, people that I had real close to me, like family.
People that you consider family.
Yeah, people that I consider family played me out after I got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's what really hurt me. My teammates, you know, or people on campus believing I was faking an injury. And then I knew that this is what you got to learn in life. I knew that I knew it was real. I knew what I was saying wasn't fake. I knew what I was going through was a real situation. So I was like, you know what? When people see them MRI results come back and hear about what happened officially, then my point would be made. I won't have to tweet nothing. I don't do things like that. I don't have to post nothing on Instagram to update people, haters, or whatever you want to call it. So I got my MRI done, and then after I got my MRI done, I got called in 2 days later when the results came back from the spine surgeon. I had to go see a spinal surgeon, a specialist, and he told me that I was lucky to be able to walk, that I was 1 inch away from being paralyzed. What happened with the results came back, I had 3 herniated discs in my spine. So the discs that hold your spine up, the bottom 3 came out of place and almost snapped my spinal cord. And the nerves that run down the spine, I pinched 2 of them. Like, I damaged 2 of them. That's why I wasn't able to walk, and I wasn't able to sit like this. I wasn't able to do none of that. So, you know, what happened was he told me, he was like, look, man, I think you're done. I'm like, what do you mean you think I'm done? And he's like, I just think your career is done. I think you gotta hang it up. He's like, what you have here, I never saw somebody have in my career of doing this for 25 years. And he's like, this is very dangerous. He's like, I can give you surgery, but the surgery success statistics aren't high. And he really like told me what I already knew was gonna be the news, just for the simple fact that what I felt for those 2 weeks and the pain I went through was not normal, man. So after he told me that, you know when you know something and you're like, I know what I know, and you act like it don't hurt, but then when you hear it for a fact, it hurts and it hits home. And I'm like, God damn. And then right there I had all these flashes of how hard I worked as an athlete and how far I didn't came, and how I'm going to have to say goodbye to being an athlete. And I've been an athlete since I was about 10, for like 13 years now. So right there and there, it was kind of like a heartbreak, but then again, it was kind of like a move forward towards my gut and what I want to do in life. So right at that moment, I left. I called Haskiri. I'm letting him know, like, yo, doctor said it's over. When my teammates heard about it and they heard about the results, everybody tried to hit me up saying how bad they felt for me, whatever. But I ignored it because it was all fake love. And then a couple weeks later, I had certain people around me that had these aspirations for me to go to the NFL, and I guess was really around me to hustle off of me just in case I went to NFL. They tried to use me for the money that was gonna come if I went to NFL, and I lost them as friends, and I thought they were really friends, and I thought I had people that I really thought that were family, like friends, and at the end of the day, they weren't family, they weren't friends, they were using me, and I knew the ones that came in my life and tried to use me for who I could potentially become, but not these people. I didn't think these people were really like that, but when it really said and done, they started ignoring my phone calls, and then after that, they try to make silly arguments with me, and what I really came down to, as a man, I sat back and I said, oh, they were really just trying to use me. And that's what it comes down to. And then, I say out of this whole experience that I went through, the most hurtful thing that people asked me was like, what are you gonna do now? And especially people that know me, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gonna do now? Like, I felt assaulted by the question just for the simple fact that I thought I was more than a football player. I try to make it clear that, like, yo, football is just a tool that I use to get through college. I am still on full scholarship. I'm graduating December, so I didn't lose no money. I didn't lose no scholarship. I still live for free on campus. I have my own apartment. I have all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still blessed.
A lot of people saw you like, oh, Nate the football star, oh, Nate the one that plays football. Like, a lot of people couldn't say his name without saying football attached to it. Yeah. When in reality, there's so much more to Nate that doesn't even involve football. Like, that's just one thing that he's great at, but there's like 1,001 other things that he's like phenomenal at. So it was frustrating to always get that question. It's like, if you are known for something and then you take a step back from it, everybody's like, oh, but I thought that that's what you would become. And oh my God, you start feeling like even if it's the smallest thing, like, you could be great at baking fucking cookies, and the moment you stop, everybody's like, oh, well, she used to bake the best cookies, and oh, she used to do this, and so that really, like, that affects people.
So basically, when it comes down to that question, it really bothered me because I enjoyed everything. I enjoyed everything in that I did, except actually play the game of football. I loved working out, just for the simple fact that, because usually after the workouts or before the workouts, I can really put my pain of what I was going through back at home, what I went through growing up. Sometimes, like, people don't know, man, but I go through flashbacks. I've been through trauma. I was traumatized as a kid, man. Like, I've been through scary things in my life that affect me to the fullest, but I don't show it because I took it out on running into another human being or lifting weights and motivating people. My main thing was, like, a lot of kids when I was coming out of high school, not one single kid went Division I. And I made it clear, like, I was like, yo, I'll be the first one to go Division I. I have the opportunity. Nobody took me serious. No, because I was a basketball player. When I stopped playing basketball, people were like, yo, what are you going to do now? That same question came. So when I went into football, people were like, what are you going to do now? You know what I'm saying? So nobody took me serious. I'm like, yo, I'm going to get a full scholarship to college. I'm going to go to college for free, and I'm going to show everybody in my city that they could be able to do the same thing. Nobody believed me. And then I made it happen. And then after I went to Delaware State University, which no school ever heard, no kids from my city or my county of New Jersey ever went to. And now if you look at it, there's about 7 kids from Hudson County that go to Delaware State University. Because when I was down at Delaware State, my main goal was, yo, coach, you got to go up to Hudson County. You got to go check this kid out. I was trying to put as much as kids as I can on the map. Yeah, my goal was to pave a way for other people. It wasn't actually sit there, be a football player and show out and show off. That wasn't my goal. My goal is I really try to change the world as much as I can. So when people ask me that question, like, yo, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? I'm like, yo, bro, don't you see that I'm good at this, or don't you see I'm good at that? But they didn't, because those people were just around just for that ride. They just try to, like, yo, if this kid goes to NFL, I'm cool with him. He's gonna put me on with this.
They want to ride the wave when it's at its peak. So if he was popping, then they wanted to be with him because, oh, Nate was popping, and then the moment, you know, he says he wants to do something else and they don't see it as successful or as cool or as whatever, they're ready to get off that. So that, like, just seeing, like, from an outside perspective, seeing him go through all that, was just like, oh, that's crazy how everybody's acting towards you, only because they hardly even ask how you feeling or how you doing this.
Yeah,
it was just,
exactly.
It was like, oh, so what about football? Oh, so what about football? But it should be, oh, but what about your back? Are you okay? Do you need me to help you get something? No, it was just, everything was, oh, what's your next step? So what you gonna do now? Like, mad cutthroat, like, it was just ridiculous.
It was very cutthroat, very cutthroat. And I've been there before in my life, but what happens in life is that history repeats itself. That's a metaphorically thing that I've heard growing up. So when I saw, like, a guy or a girl and how they approach me, and I've been through that same situation, I don't automatically defend myself like, no, this girl did this before. No, what I do is I go, I had to bring myself mentally through. In life, man, you have to really be able to really know how to use your brain. The brain is the most incredible thing in this world. So what I did with my brain was like, yo, I've been through a downfall like this before, and I found a way, and I will find a way out of here. I started therapy, physical therapy. I was able to start walking again. I couldn't go to class for a total of 3 weeks because I couldn't sit down more than 5 minutes. I had to lay down or stand straight up. And then Haskiri came down, and I was very depressed. I told her to bring the camera, and I was like, man, bring the camera down. And we actually did the skit. How does she? What does he say? Versus what she really wants to say, or he really wants to say. Our first little skit that we did, we made that skit. Actually, when I was able to start walking during my therapy days, and I felt alive when I was doing YouTube. And when I started telling people, like my family, I was like, yo, man, when I went home, when I was fine, I started doing YouTube, and I fell in love with it. I felt like my gut, I just wanted to do it. I was happy. Then when I went right back down to school, and right before I got hurt, what's the coincidence? Right before I got hurt, I told Haskiri, like, yo, I miss doing videos, and I feel like I'm in love with that. I'm like, football, I'm never in love with it. I love what it can do for me and where it can bring me and how far it can bring me as a man in school, but I never really loved football. I'm just being honest. Everybody that knows me knows that I really didn't love football. So I loved doing videos. So we did that video, and I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. I don't care if it's 20 views. I don't care about the views. I'm like, yo, I built a dream with YouTube. And yo, I'm telling you right now, people looked at me like I was insane. I was crazy. I'm telling you, people, and that you gotta be careful telling your dream to certain people, because they can actually bring you down. But you gotta be able to know, like, nothing, when you put your mind to something, your mom might tell you not to do it, or you can't do it. If you really want to do that, and your heart and your gut is telling you, yo, this is what you want to do it. Go do it. Stop thinking about the consequences. Stop thinking about what if. Man, just do it. So that's what we're doing. We do videos, and we enjoy the videos. We enjoy the progress that we're making. 5 years from now is what I'm looking at. It didn't take me a year to get a football scholarship. It took me 4 years, from freshman year, no, not even, 3 years. My sophomore year in high school to my senior year in high school. I had to work 3 years to get one scholarship. How long do you think it's gonna take to become the YouTube people that we want to be? It's gonna take a couple years, and we accept that. We know that. We watch a video, after we make them, we watch them, we go, look, we gotta do this better. We take notes, we do everything we're supposed to do for us to progress. We don't just do it on our free time. We carry this big ass camera everywhere with this tripod, and we come up with new ideas, and we got like 15 videos right now that are not out because we felt like we could have did better. We coach ourselves. We try to better ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So, basically my career is completely done with football. And I wanted to come out and tell YouTube this for a long time, but I wasn't ready. I'm like, I'm not ready. Something just told me I wasn't ready. I didn't want to force it, this video. I didn't want to force. I had to grow as a man, you know. And then going through that, you know, my family became homeless. You know, my father, my brothers got evicted again. Same thing that happened in high school. So my family got evicted, and then it's not like I was able to go home. I didn't have a home to go to. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I had my mom's house and stuff, you know, but it's not home. It's not really home, you know. So, you know, things would get better, and I knew things would get better. I knew I had to grow. So this past summer was probably one of the worst summers of my life. But I didn't look at it like that. I look at it as like it was probably one of the darkest moments I've been in a relationship with somebody, because I wasn't myself. I was never this weight for this long, like heavy, you know, until I lost weight. I never was this down and out. I never was not an athlete. This is my first August being home ever since I was like 13. You know, and there's a lot more to this world than just football, and I love it. But I'm learning a lot. I never knew deep about credit. I never knew deep about how much rent is and this, that, and the third, because I was so traumatized and just I gotta do football. I'm learning about life, and I'm enjoying it. And I'm going through a lot of struggles. We're going through a lot of struggles. I'm going through a lot as a man, but I'm growing. When you go through dark times, embrace it. It's gonna make you grow. I promise you. Some people look at me like I'm crazy. I didn't have a haircut the whole summer. People are like, yo, you looking like a bum. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. I need to be a bum right now. I need to go through. I need to know what this feels like, because it will motivate me to become the man I want to be in the future. So, you know, if it wasn't, she was a huge, she's somebody that I was scared when I had to tell her like I wasn't a football player no more, because I was like scared she wasn't gonna accept me for who I was. But when we first got together, I remember like it was yesterday, I told her, like, yo, look, I play football, but I don't have dreams to go to NFL. Told her straight up. I'm like, I don't know, I'm uptown New York, I don't know, some girls up here just use niggas. I'm like, yo, look, I'm not going to go to the NFL. Even if when I have opportunities, I won't take it. I had an opportunity, I didn't take it. I didn't want to go to NFL. I'm not gonna be happy. I want to do something different with my life. And when I told her that, she was like, okay. Like, why are you telling me this? Like, and the reaction, the body language I got from her, I'm like, yo, she doesn't really care about me being a football player or not. You know, so most importantly, I'm getting my degree. I owe $0 student loans. That's a blessing. And, you know, just wanted to let you guys know this. I had to get this on my chest. I felt like guilty for not telling you guys. We built great relationships with a lot of you guys on this YouTube. Yeah. And I felt very guilty without, you know, telling her. But, you know, thank God I have the most beautiful woman in the world, inside more than out. Because she's more beautiful inside than out. But, you know, she motivated me. She understood, like, baby, you don't got to tell a story now. Do it when you're ready. And, you know, since it's football season, and you know, football is actually the first football games just happened these last couple days, and my school just played, and I had thousands of messages asking like, yo, why you not on the field? Just want to let you guys know, you know, I've been keeping this a secret. This has been our biggest secret, and I thank you for being supportive the way you do. I thank my little brothers, you know, especially Brandon, for being there. Kareem, you was there. Pops, you know, Desiree, you know, your family, your mother, your father. Keep your family will always be there, man. You gotta be blessed with your family. Don't let these fake friends get around you. I'm telling you that right now. It hurts the most when you think your best friend is your best friend and they're really not. Don't be discouraged. Don't try to hurt their feelings. Don't be true to yourself. The world doesn't need to know what happened. The world doesn't need to know nothing. If you know and that person knows, or you know yourself and God knows, you don't need to prove nothing to nobody. So we have bigger dreams now, man. I'm sorry, but I'm just getting really deep into this. Like, it's hurting me because it just, think about this story really hurts. But yo, when you got dreams, bro, I'm telling you right now, I made it from the projects, from crack houses. I lived in crack houses my whole life. I made it out. I made it out. There's nothing that I know that I won't be able to do. Anything you put your mind to, you'll be able to do. Have confidence in yourself. You got to remind yourself every day what you want. And you got to grind for it. And you got to believe in it. You have to have your faith, and it will become true. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's exactly what I was going to say. Just like, if something happens in your life where you can't do what you always wanted to do, or something stops you from doing something, just know that there's always another door opening. Like when a door closes, there's one opening right there. So just take full advantage of whatever opportunity comes your way, because you never know what steps you have to take in order to make it to where you want to become. Like there was a reason why he stopped playing football, because now we're full-time doing YouTube videos, and there's been so many opportunities throughout the summer that has happened, even though we don't really show it through on the camera. But there's a lot of things that showed itself when he stopped playing football. And it's better to lose someone now than when you make it, because then they'll just fuck you over when you just at your highest. And that's just, everything happens for a reason. That's like, you lose friends, you make new friends, better friends, people who are willing to put you on the right path, people who won't talk about you behind your back. Like, everything happens for a reason. So just, you know, take full advantage of everything that comes your way.
We don't have friends. I don't have no friends. I don't have a friend. Like, I have people that are my clients when I cut at school, when I give haircuts, or I have a teammate, but I don't like, or you know, a close teammate that I have, you know, but I probably have one friend, and he lives in PA. But other than that, I don't have any friends. We don't have any friends. We don't go out with our friends. We don't do things like that. We lost friends, you know, and she, you know, she used to come up to me a lot, like, yo, babe, man, I don't have no friends. When I did have friends that I thought were my friends, and she's like, babe, I don't have no friends. I had to explain to her, like, yo, I don't know why, but when you have a dream, yo, you lose a lot. Yo, you lose fake friends. It's just the God's paving the way for you, and if you go and you just don't question it and you go with it, you start to see things come true and things come to light.
You start to grow yourself. Like, I look back at the friends that I had, and it's so crazy to see that they're still
doing
where they at. Yeah. Like, I'm not missing out on anything. Like, nothing. Like, when you stop becoming friends with somebody, you think like, damn, yo, I'm gonna miss this, I'm gonna miss that, like, we were so close, we were gonna do this. But no, there's a reason why you had to leave them behind, because they weren't willing to change, they weren't willing to grow, you know. And you can't have people holding you down. That's just, you won't get to where you want to be if you have people holding you down. Like, there's a saying that says, it hurts more to hold on than to let go. And that just
So, you know, I don't want to get off topic with friends. We'll make a whole nother video for that for you guys. But if you guys have any questions with that, or advice videos, whatever the case may be, but you know, when you have a dream, don't be scared to go. I'm telling you, the world, I don't know how many people are going to view this in the next 24 hours. I'm telling whoever watches this video that I'm telling you, I have dreams with YouTube. And I'm not scared. I would not be able to live on this earth without a dream. I can't do it. I have huge dreams with YouTube. I know it's gonna branch me out who I want to be in the future. You know, with, you know, becoming one of the best personal trainers in the world, whatever the case may be, anything. I know it's gonna bring opportunity, and I know I can change a lot of lives, and I can help a lot of people through this. And I do not care. This is my dream, and I'm gonna protect it, and I'm gonna go chase it. You're not gonna change my mind. Nobody's gonna change my mind. I had my calling. As soon as I told her I wasn't happy and I missed recording, and that we just got finished recording the day before, and I suffered a spine injury 24 hours later, this is my way. And I believe in God. I have belief and I have faith, and I don't care if it takes me 10 years to become who I want to be on YouTube. For us to become who we want to be. Sometimes in life you have to go through dark times, and I've been going through a dark time for the last 6-7 months, but I'm growing. And we're becoming a better couple, we're becoming better people. We want to share the story with you. So the main plot about the story for our big news that we had in the title, our biggest secret, is that my football career is officially done. I'm retired. I suffered a career-ending injury, and I can tell the world, and I don't have to lie to nobody, and I can be true to this video and be true to you guys. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate everybody that watches these videos. I will say this every goddamn time we make these videos. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate that. I had like 5 guys hit me up this past week. You know, she's used to being the one to get all the, you know, advice and
People-
questions on her
yeah.
Instagram. Now people come to mind asking me things and telling me, you know, how I'm hitting home for them and how these videos mean something. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you. You don't understand. That's the only thing I was put on this earth to do. When I played football, I didn't care about being a football player. I cared about my power, and my word was stronger than the nigga that was smoking weed on the corner. So when I speak to a kid and I tell him he could achieve a dream because he saw me achieve mine, then I gave him hope. I just want to give hope. That's it. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't.
Thumbs up, subscribe. Like I always say, tell a friend to tell a friend. Yeah. And if you start, like, if you ever get into something and you feel like it's not going nowhere, you just have to really believe. There's a lot of times where I feel like it's not gonna happen, it's moving too slow, but not everything is done overnight. So just always keep that in mind.
Yeah. Don't let nothing stop you from doing what you want to do. Please don't. I'd rather die doing something I love than live and do something I hate. And I live by that. I'm not an Instagram meme. I'm not an Instagram quote. I don't believe in them things. Them things are fake ass motivations for one day for people that act like they're doing what they love and they don't. I'm sorry if I'm getting aggressive, but I'm so serious right now. It's hard for me to even smile in this video because this video really, it just really, I'm finally getting it off my chest and it just feels good. I've been holding this back for like 6 months. So live your dream, live life, man, love life. And hope you guys enjoy this. I feel great that I let this go now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We see you guys later.